Yo, what it do, my people? We're here with Borderline Takes, episode 1 of first of many. It's been a long time coming. My name is Leo, and I'm here with
Brendan, aka Murph, and quick little intro. I'm 22. My profession is I'm a fourth-year apprentice in Local 103 doing electrical work.
Yes, sir. My name is Leo, like I said before, 22, currently a senior in college, and my major is sports management.
Yeah, so just a quick background story of us, how we met and everything. I originally transferred schools in 7th grade, and my first day at that new school, at recess, that's where I met Leo, and went from lunch, sit at the table, kind of alone, didn't really know anybody. It was my first day and everything, and then when we got out to recess, there was a basketball court, and it was kind of 5-on-5 or however many more there was. But
you know how the recess runs go.
But that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
We were just playing, and then that's how we met, and then ever since then, that's where we kind of clicked.
Yeah, bro. That was the first thing I got to bond on him with. I feel like a lot of the time, everybody talked about different things. We were able to click on sports right away. Big Boston fans. He's the biggest Boston fan you ever see. I'm a big Boston fan, but it ain't nothing bigger than him. Well, how many Celtics games did you watch?
I watched. I didn't miss a game last year.
Not a single game from regular season, postseason.
Preseason.
I didn't even count the preseason.
Preseason, regular season, playoffs, finals, all of them.
So we definitely are up to date with sports. We watch sports. We always talk about sports everywhere we go. Any type of conversation we have, sports is involved some way, somehow. And I just kind of thought, let's be different, have a creative mindset at the age we are, and let's start a podcast. Like I said, sports is our main thing, and I kind of want to, the vision for this podcast is maybe switch it up. Maybe, talk about sports all the time, keep you guys up to date, but maybe have some special guests, some young influencers, entrepreneurs who, can help you guys break the ice and teach you young folks how to, start something up.
Yeah, I mean, we might be young and everything, but
Sure.
Young entrepreneurs might be coming on here and showing someone maybe younger, if not the same age, maybe even a little bit older, anyone can do it. You really just have to go out and kind of try it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are with this podcast. It's been a year in the making, and we're finally here. It was his vision. If you want to break that down a little bit.
Yeah, it was my vision. I feel like nowadays there's a lot of popular athletes in every sport, from women's sports, men's sports, especially in basketball. It's been really big, where they have their own podcast. And I thought it was a really cool take on, we always see sports from the TV, but we never see what it's like in an athlete's perspective, in that raw footage. I don't know if you guys seen the Jeff T podcast.
Yeah.
He keeps it 100, and it's really cool to see those perspectives. So yeah, my vision was really just get the young people more involved, show us that we can do anything we put our minds to. Like he said, it's been a long time coming, but we're here now and we're here to stay. So
yeah, so kind of just jumping right into it, we're gonna start off with NFL. We're a little bit late. We're about a third way into the season.
Yeah, 6 games.
So the most recent game, right now it's Friday the 11th. So the most recent game for us was Thursday Night Football, 49ers versus Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't watch it. I was watching the MLB Playoffs. Is what it is.
I watched a little bit of it. George Kittle and the 49ers went kind of crazy. Without CMC, they're still having a really strong run game. That just shows how strong their O-line is. I mean, they have
two backup backs kind of crushing the run game right now.
One of them came from the Patriots, no? JJ Taylor?
Yeah.
So they're big on the backs. I mean, that team is built to run. Debo and George Kittle went crazy. Kittle had 2 touchdowns. Debo had one himself. Seattle struggled a bit. They had a few touchdowns. I don't know if you've seen it, but DK had 2 touchdowns taken away from him.
Yeah.
One was an illegal formation call. The other one was he didn't drag the foot like that Jalen Polk play.
Yeah, terrible call.
Yeah, it's a weird call. I mean, I feel like if you have both feet in, you don't really need to drag, but I'm not Roger Goodell, so I don't have those powers.
We can't change those rules.
Yeah.
One thing I will add on the Seattle side is they need a goddamn quarterback. Yeah. Geno Smith is falling off right now. DK, you can see him angry. You can see him upset on the sidelines. You got to get him a nice young talent. I know they have Drew Lock. Is he still with them?
No, I think he might have moved. Maybe.
Denver?
I'm not too sure. He came from Denver. Not too sure where he is right now.
Wherever he is. But Seattle's definitely going to need to start thinking their future in the short coming. Because to keep a talent like Debo, I know Tyler Lockett, he's on year 10. So with receivers, you really never know how much time they really got.
And you got Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah,
is he a rookie?
Nah, he's second year.
Second year cooking. And they got Kenneth Walker in the backfield crushing it. Like, he just came off an oblique injury the next game that he was cleared. Had hell yards, had 2 touchdowns. Like, they're ready to win. They just need to fill that quarterback in.
Yeah, so, we just talked about 49ers in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, staying on the NFL topic, I think we should talk about Bucs Saints.
For sure.
Like, can Baker and the Bucs stay hot, or can the Saints get back to how they were playing weeks 1 and 2? Because weeks 1 and 2, they looked unstoppable.
They looked untouchable.
Their offense was so electric. It was fun to watch, and now they're just back to like Derek Carr being Derek Carr. How
they
he
hit
was
Earth
for
a little
every
bit.
other team he was.
They hit Earth a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know if like you got any ideas about them. But
my question is just, I trust Baker a little more, but can Derek Carr keep that early success sustainable? Like throwing for 300 plus yards a game, Rashid Shaheed going crazy. The thing I know about the Saints is they're built to run. I mean, they have Alvin Kamara. He's gonna get his touchdowns. But in this NFL, I mean, you're not going to win a game straight off of rushing. Unless you're the 49ers, you have Trent Williams, CMC.
Yeah, who can just pound the rock.
Yeah, but, the biggest thing is just they're built to run. Can they keep that passing game alive with Rashid Shaheed? Chris Olave struggled a little bit. He's finding his footing.
Shaheed's only really a deep threat, though. Like watching games, like if he's not breaking out to the outside on a go route, like his short to mid game's kind of mid.
You don't see him really routing up like that. Yeah. I mean, it's also a short stint of him that we've seen him at this position.
Yeah, that's true.
Last year they debuted him a little bit. I think he played kick return, but now he's got a bigger role, so he's really showing up. Speaking of like sustainability and can they keep it? How about that kid Jaden Daniels in Washington, huh?
Should have been a Patriot.
We were 1 pick away.
Should have been a Patriot.
You seen it coming though? Did you see like Jaden Daniels coming off the rip with this Washington team that he has?
I thought he was gonna struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Like Caleb Williams, he's doing his thing a little bit. He still has a long way to go. A lot of high expectations because he's the number 1 pick. Jaden Daniels also has those high expectations, but he doesn't have the expectations that come with that number 1 slot.
No,
know? So
sure.
With his offense, like Terry McLaurin, he has Austin Eckler in the backfield, like
Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah.
That split backfield is interesting. A lot of teams have that in the league now.
But like their offense, like that is a fun team to watch. Like
1,000%.
And we've never really been able to say that about, Washington. Maybe in the past.
RG3 a little bit, but he got hurt. It was so short.
So like having something fresh and new to the NFL is very refreshing as a fan.
Most definitely, bro.
Seeing a quarterback that like Lamar Jackson-esque, but like I feel like he's already got the better passing than Lamar.
That's a crazy take.
It's a crazy take, but it is like it's just showing up on the stat sheet,
It also helps how much he was at Arizona State for, and then LSU. Like he's had a good stint in college, and he kind of was able to mature in the college setting and dealing with all those fans. Like LSU is damn near, like the amount of people that are at an LSU game, bro, is damn near an NFL game. Like there's a whole lot of people there. The culture at LSU is crazy,
and with all the NILs. It's a pro football. It's pro football.
It is, and especially in that, my fault, bro, but in that big of a market, like he got exposed to the big people, the bright lights, the crowd really quick. So I think that helped him a lot.
Yeah, and he's kind of just a mature cat,
He is.
Like his pops is at all his games, like number 1 fan, talking shit to the fans of the opposing teams. Like he comes from a steady background, and like going back on that Lamar take real quick, like. You can't say that lightly because
MVP, 2-time MVP.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels right now is QB2. He's number 2 in the league as the number 2 pick rookie year. Like that's crazy.
It is insane, and it's crazy because we were all talking Caleb Williams because he was gifted an amazing offense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you come into Keenan Allen, you come into DeAndre Swift,
DJ Moore,
like Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Like they have a really perfect offense for him. I mean, that line he's getting beat up. Not gonna lie, but. Ravens are on the streak too. I mean, Derrick Henry is
untouchable, and everyone, including myself, I thought he was out of his prime. And so him coming in and revamping that Ravens offense is crazy work.
It is. They need Zay Flowers to get more touches. I mean, I feel like that wide receiver room is a little. Other than Zay Flowers, it's kind of tough.
It's short.
Yeah.
OBJ didn't really do much for the Ravens, but he was another option.
Yeah.
Him going to Miami, it's like Zay Flowers is their number 1. So, if they know, like, but right now with Derrick Henry doing what he's doing,
for sure,
like they can't just commit to Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
They can just take away the passing game, but then you got a beast coming at you, like just ready to run everyone down.
Yeah, he's not built like your typical running back. He's
Nah.
low key a linebacker on the low, and he can run. Like I don't know that big play he had week 2 or 3. He was running like almost 25 miles an hour, which is kind of crazy for a human being to like a human being that size coming at you 25 miles an hour. You might need to make a business decision if you're going to tackle him or not.
That's a concussion waiting to happen.
No, for sure.
So we're gonna also talk about we got the Lions Cowboys coming up. I think this is a big game. This is much watch.
Yeah, for sure.
My take, I got the Lions taking this one.
Me too.
I think they're a very fun team. Ever since Dan Campbell got there, became their head coach, he changed up the whole organization. That team is also, like the Commanders, very fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think Goff was the perfect fit for them. He didn't have his way in LA. I think the lights might have been a little too bright in LA for Goff.
Yeah.
Going to a small market Lions team,
Mm-hmm.
I think that fits his role so much better.
And speaking of small market, that coach really holds it down. Dan Campbell is the heart of that team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he made them that gritty, grimy team from day one, and it's really paid off for them.
100%.
To put you on your feet a little bit, put you on your toes. If you're a GM right now, creating a new team in Maine, whatever, who do you want for your franchise QB? Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson? Both at where they're at right now. Who are you taking?
I think I still have to go with the 2-time.
Okay, maybe 3-time too.
Maybe 3-time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not proven it in the playoffs, and this year is very key for his career.
1,000%.
Like he needs to do something in the playoffs where it's like that. There's a reason he won those 2 MVPs. Yeah, he was the clear MVP in those regular seasons, but he needs to prove it in the playoffs. He like to solidify himself. Like he needs to go win a Super Bowl and get that Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he's definitely a high caliber player. He just got to prove it a little bit, like kind of like how the Celtics were a little bit in the NBA. Like you know who JT is, you know who JB is.
But can they put it together?
Yeah, and what we did this past season.
But like adding Derrick Henry, it could very well be that type of offense to go watch in the Super Bowl.
1,000%.
Like we always talk about Jay Allen, we talk about Patty Mahomes. Those are like the top 3: Lamar, Pat Mahomes, and Jay Allen in the AFC. Like Pat Mahomes is where Pat Mahomes is. Now it's who's gonna dethrone him.
Yeah, they're all going for his head. Now he knows that for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking about Pat Mahomes a little bit, Rashee Rice, that injury, it's
That
kind
was
of
disgusting.
a bad tackle on Mahomes' fault. I mean, like, as a QB, you got to make a safe play. You're not going to go head first, because especially if you're the franchise quarterback who's won multiple Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, trying to get his 3rd. How many Super Bowls do they have?
They got 3. They went back-to-back, and they won in 19.
So they're trying to do the MJ, back-to-back, which I think they might do if somebody doesn't stop them, a.k.a. Lamar and fucking Josh Allen.
Yeah. I hope not. I fucking hate the Chiefs. But,
But people said that about the Patriots,
I
bro.
know.
It's the
It's
sport. When we were
the
taking
sport.
over, bro, everybody hated us. And I didn't see it until now the Chiefs are taking over.
And we suck.
Yeah, so it's like, it's tough to watch. And as a fan, too, you want to see different stuff going on in the Super Bowl.
You do, but you also have to appreciate the greatness going on in front of you.
1,000%.
Like we could sit here and be biased because we're Pats fans and we're from the Boston area, but like that's greatness. Like
it's amazing to watch.
I'm like probably one of the biggest LeBron haters.
Yeah.
But you can't discredit him for his greatness.
Yeah, like we to be fair, we kind of got tired of watching Golden State Cavs. But if you really rewatch those series, like those are good basketball series.
Greatness happening.
Like amazing defense, amazing plays being called, better offense over defense. Like it was great to watch. We didn't enjoy it in the moment, but let's enjoy what we got going on right now.
Yeah, and speaking about what's going on right now, our boy Drake May starting. Oh man, it's gonna be so refreshing.
A lot of pressure.
If he doesn't get killed by our offensive line, because our offensive line is like ranked dead last or whatever the hell
we're
they
30th out of 32 in the league. So
but bringing a new face in, finally getting over that Brady era. Not finally, because obviously he brought 6 chips to the organization. But finally getting over that Brady. Is it Brady? Is it Belichick? Finally, really getting over that hump. Not saying where we stand in the NFL.
For sure.
Just like the morale, just like the
clean slate.
The argument. You're starting fresh now. You have a first-time head coach, arguably, who may or may not have should have got the job.
Mm-hmm.
But that's besides the point. You have a new head coach. You got a rookie quarterback now. Not that the Pats have any hope of making the playoffs, this is for the future. How will our future play out?
Do you think it's a little too early to put in Drake May?
No.
Don't think so?
So, my thing is, like, everyone wants to talk about he's going to get killed, the offensive line's terrible, this, that, and the third. You don't know what you're going to have as a QB if you don't put him out there. Like,
for sure.
Like, what if you wait this whole year, redshirt him, and then he comes back year 2, and he's another Mac Jones, and you had a top pick, and you did not do anything with it?
That is 100% true. I mean, like, everything happens in the league. Like, Mac Jones, we threw him into the fire very early. That's kind of what, as Pat fans, we're kind of scared of. We don't want to do that to Drake May. We also have a stacked QB room. Like, if Drake May doesn't pan out, we have a beast, a 6'5", 240-pound QB who has a crazy arm and is a dual-threat quarterback in Joe Milton.
He'll just have to work a little bit on his accuracy.
Yeah,
but that comes with time and rep, you know.
Yeah, it does, and also those OTAs, all those practices, watching the games. He'll grow into his position for sure. That's some optimism.
He's working with the team, like he's on the practice squad, but the practice squad is also what helps build championships.
100%.
Like those are the guys that are the most hungry. They want to make that roster.
I mean, they got families to feed, bro. They need those contracts. I mean, I understand. Same thing with the NBA. Those G League players play probably harder because they have something to prove. I mean, they're not making the millions of dollars. They're fighting for their contracts, and once they get that opportunity, are they going to show up or?
And nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing.
They can get cut, and then all they can do is hope to get picked up by another organization.
Exactly.
But as a practice squad player, like who knows? Like that might be it. You might get one shot. Like, but that's for everything in life. You might only get one shot to do something, and if you don't get that opportunity, like, it might be done. You know?
Yeah, going back to the Pats and their schedule, could you pull that up for me real quick? So we have like a Pat schedule just to show up like the next few games of difficulty. So we're playing the Texans, who have kind of been needing. I already got it on the dock, Brody.
Yeah.
We're playing the Houston Texans, 14th ranked, then Jaguars, 31st, so they're second to last in defense. That could be a good game for Drake May to get some pace up.
Yeah.
Then we play the Jets, tough team, really good linebackers, Sauce Gardner's back there.
Defense is really good.
Yeah.
Mid offense.
I mean, yeah, Drake will be on the field a lot that game for sure. Then we go to the Titans and Bears. Titans 19th ranked, Bears 3rd. So it's like it's an up and down course, but there's definitely some games for Drake May to find his footing.
So there definitely is, but my key games is that Texans game and that Bears game. Those are the two young quarterbacks you're going to be going against.
Ooh, I didn't even think about it like that.
So to see what and earlier on we talked about the quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes.
For sure.
You have to throw in CJ.
Yeah.
CJ's doing his thing in Texas. He's going to figure that out. Getting Stephon Diggs, getting that Tank Dell.
Nico's out. He's on IR.
He's out.
That's going to make Steph and especially Tank Dell bring their name up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But they're already big names.
Yeah.
So coming into year 2 for Nico and in whatever year Stephon's in. But
Tank got hurt. Like this season, he wasn't being showed too much, you know, because of the injury. And you're behind Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, two big-time wide receivers. Nico Collins' second year, but he made a name for himself when it was just him. He was catching all those touchdowns, all his long plays. He could route it up too. That boy is nice. So gives Tank Dell some confidence to put his name up on there and say, hey, I'm here to stay, and I'm not just a third string wide receiver. I could be a starter on any team.
Yeah, but yeah. So for Drake May, you know that Texans defense that's gonna be a tough first game,
100%.
Especially with that O line. It's gonna be tough. So I think they're gonna go run heavy in that game. Jaguars, I think they can attack heavy. Jaguars, in my opinion, like is that their defense 31st?
31st out of 32.
So that's when I think that's the game that Gerard Mayo has to sit down with Alex Van Pelt and all his other coaches and be like, we have to see this kid.
Yeah. Like,
right now, Mondre's out for this week, out with a foot injury. So you're going to have, who's the backup?
Gibson.
You're going to have Gibson showing some, but...
Yes, sir.
But to win this game, it's not going to be about the run. Like, it's not going to be about the run. It's going to be about getting the ball down the field at that quarterback position.
Yes, sir.
Drake May is not like a Tom Brady at all, of course.
Not yet.
But he is a better runner.
Yeah.
So leaving the pocket, he needs to be aware coming off that left side, that right side. That left tackle has to keep that blind side clear.
Yeah.
But Drake also needs to be able to feel the pressure, and then when he needs to, just escape that pocket.
For sure. He's a bigger quarterback, too. I think he's standing at, like, He's definitely over 6 feet, so he could eat some tackles for sure. Not too worried about him being a run, but just being safe. You know, a lot of QBs this year are getting hurt, not sliding correctly.
Yeah.
It's just him learning how to slide. You know, making sure he gets those in and doesn't get too scared by the bright lights in Gillette, because he has a tall task to take on. You're playing against where Tom Brady ruled the NFL. Sorry, folks, where he ruled the NFL for years. So.
Yeah.
Tall task to take on for Drake May, but I'm here. I'm ready to see it. Fresh slate.
We will be watching.
We will be watching.
It's a new day in New England.
Yes, it is.
Of course, like we said, we're not expecting to win, but we are expecting to see some change.
Yeah, for sure.
In the culture, for sure.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on the Cowboys.
Okay.
And where they're sitting at, you know, the expectations after signing Dak to his deal.
CD too.
CD.
Both of those got big deals.
Yeah, they both got their deals. Yeah, so touching on them, like, I don't even know where they stand at for record-wise.
Yeah.
3-2 maybe?
Something like that. I know they got blown by the Saints when the Saints were feeling it week 2 or week 1.
So did you expect to see the Cowboys produce more, or is this what you expected out of the Cowboys?
I expected it, and the reason why I expected it, they got rid of Tony Pollard.
Yep.
Very good back. I mean, it didn't fit right there in Dallas after he got hurt. He was amazing when he first got there, but it got hurt. Kind of wasn't himself when he got back. And now they're running Rico Dowdle and older. He played for us. What's his name? Zeke.
Yep.
Mr. Zeke. But it's there.
Bad boy.
Big boy. You know, it's there, but they're primarily known for their running, and they have a great O-line for it. But you know, it's just not fitting. Their running isn't complementing CD. They also have Tolbert. I don't know if you heard of him. He's been eating a lot. He had a great last game. So I expect them to be where they're at. I kind of do expect them to have a deeper playoff run, to be honest. I mean, you have Dak. He's multiple seasons in. He's always a candidate for the MVP. Right now, he has 1,400 yards, 8 passing touchdowns, QB 10 right now. So he's doing what he has to do. They just need to figure out that run game a little bit. And, you know, I'm not a big Cowboys fan like most of America, but I do think they are a talented team.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the Cowboys too, but I think the biggest stat right here, we're looking up the stats in the Cowboys right now in CeeDee Lamb's stat line. He has no touchdowns.
Yeah.
We're going into week 6.
Yeah.
And he hasn't gotten to the end zone once.
Yeah.
And he's ranked 13.
Mm-hmm.
And after his holdout, after missing week 1 on on that exempt list, like, he has 41 targets, 25 receptions, under 400 yards. I mean, getting paid like that, Jerry Jones is going to be looking at him like, you're not producing.
And Jerry Jones is a little stingy with his money. As you can see, he was kind of holding out on CD, waiting to see if he could get some less for him. But, I mean, he's getting the targets. He has 41 targets. He just has to produce, get some more looks in the end zone.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's week 6. He should get some more TDs. I think they'll come. So, I'm not too worried about CD, but they'll find that offense as the running game gets planted.
For sure. I think moving on from the NFL, we just had a huge UFC card.
Brazil! Come on, man.
We just had a huge UFC card, UFC 307, this past Saturday.
Yes, sir.
I was watching the MLB Playoffs, so I didn't get to see it.
No, yeah.
It might have been the playoffs. I forget what I was watching. I know I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I should have stayed up. I woke up the next morning on Sunday, which we also had a NFL game in London.
Yes, we did.
So before that game started, I watched the Pereira highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Electric.
He's been making it happen. I mean, it's a little people have some questions about it because his run to the title has been really short. I mean, most people have to fight a lump sum amount of fights to even touch a title fight. Just because of his connection with Israel Adesanya, he kind of got up there really quickly.
Yeah.
But he's been showing that he's worth it. He's not just a fluke. He's not just because he has these connections, he made it here. Like, no, he's had some pretty good title defenses.
In both divisions.
Both divisions.
I mean, we've seen it before, but we haven't seen a guy like him at his size, other than maybe John Jones, at his size, really take on the two divisions. Conor did it, but Conor was in a less heavy weight class. He was in a
for sure.
Smaller weight class. Mm-hmm. Not to take anything away from Conor, because what he did in his run was greatness.
That's his people's Irish.
But what we're watching in the current time in Alex Pereira, like, that is a must tune in card.
I think any card he's in is a must watch.
For sure.
In my opinion. I mean, he knocks people out. That's his go to. And he's a hard hitter. I don't know if you guys heard, but towards the end of the fight's over, Mark Goddard, who's been in the game for 20 years, goes up to Joe Rogan and says, I've never heard anything like that. And when he's referencing is like the hits.
The hits, yeah.
Like the hits, the sound of it, he said it was ungodly.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy for a ref that's been in the game for 20 years.
To see X amount of fights.
Exactly. And
seen the greatest of greats fight.
He's watched John Jones. He's watched all the heavy hitters in Ngannou. He's watched, a lot more UFC than me. But he's seen the best of the best, to be honest. And
I mean, 20 years ago is when we really started this UFC thing.
For sure.
So he's been there probably since the. I mean, maybe a little bit longer than 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But 20 years, like you're going back to like the start of the UFC. Where it really gained its traction.
It's Dana White sport
comes in.
For sure.
Yeah. So I mean, we're talking about GOATs in every sport all the time.
Sport.
Whatever sport it may be.
Even though LeBron's the GOAT of the NBA, but that's a conversation for later.
I think as we're talking about UFC, we're always also talking about GOATs,
Of course.
Can Pereira be considered the GOAT now off this title defense in the 2 bouts that he's won over? Because Khabib's always been in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say he's the GOAT. He might have had maybe one of the best title runs, defenses. Can we put Pereira over Khabib?
I mean, they're tied at title defenses. That's a really good question, Murph. They're tied at title defenses. My goal right now is John Jones. But I do think Pereira is on track to behead Khabib at that GOAT conversation.
I agree with you on that John Jones point. I think we talk about Pereira one of a kind, but John Jones
is taking you apart at any angle. Like his game was fluid. There was no issues with it. If you want to take it to the ground, good luck. If you want to get hit in the head, good luck. If you want some body shots that are gonna have you sitting down because of a liver shot, good luck. Like his game was flawless. I don't think Poaton's there yet. I mean, we haven't seen much wrestling from Alex Pereira, so that's why I think he might need to work on. He also hasn't been brought there. He
hasn't been brought to the brink.
Yeah.
Of having to go to that nasty work on the ground.
Yeah.
He's coming at you with every combo.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get too close to him because those hands.
They hurt. I mean, ungodly. You heard it.
Yeah. So
Khalil Roundtree was a great fighter. I mean, in that fight, I think that was the toughest fight he's had. He's ate a lot of big hits from Khalil Roundtree, who has a good martial arts background. He's also said he studied Khalil Roundtree. It was a really good fight. But to see, one thing that really piqued my interest in Alex Pereira is he was getting clipped up a few times, but his stance, he's keep coming forward. He's not going to come back and try to have you do some shit out of pocket. Like, he's going to play his game and you're going to follow.
Right.
So that's kind of why he hasn't been brought to the ground, because he's playing offense all the time.
You're at his pace.
Exactly.
Yeah. Moving on from that 307 card, now we got 308 cards coming up, which is
must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV.
And these cards haven't been at all a disappointment. I mean, Dana White's really doing his thing, like always, keeping up with the cards, keeping up with what the people want to see, what the fighters want, keeping guys paid, raising those bonuses up. Like
he knows how to keep.
He knows how to keep that ship afloat.
For sure.
And until he falls off, UFC's only going to skyrocket even bigger. I mean, he's going to Abu Dhabi. He's going around the world to fight. He goes to, if you're Conor McGregor, when he fought, they were in Ireland.
Yeah.
When the Brazilian fighter, they were in Brazil for that.
Yeah. I mean, he's brought that sport international.
They were in France for Ngannou.
Yeah. They have all the exposure they need, and it's just going to get bigger, even bigger. I think the NFL should follow that too. I mean, they're kind of doing some Brazil games in
London,
Europe, so
Germany.
I think if the NBA could do something like that, NFL follow their cards, because the way the UFC's grown in the past 20 years, and it's been a newer televised sport. I mean, the sport's been there forever, but as a televised sport, it's grown immensely. So I think if they could follow their footsteps, Dana White, they'll be doing amazing.
Who also, he plays a huge part in the gambling business too.
Yeah.
I mean, him in Vegas, I mean, they're tied in.
They're besties right now.
Yeah.
So in this 308 card, we had Gane versus Volkov. Volkov is out due to injury. Would have been a good fight to see Cyril Gane come back after getting tapped out by the GOAT, John Jones.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of like touching earth a little bit. And then we have Robert Whittaker and Hamzat. They're both kind of two guys that have something to prove, Yeah. Robert Whittaker's coming off of 2 wins in the year of 2024. He's a little older, but he's still the Grim Reaper. He can get it done.
He's still gonna walk you down if he can.
And Hamzat was that guy in 2022, and before that had a win against Gilbert Burns. That was a little controversial because I'm a Brazilian bias, But they both have something to prove in this fight, and they're both very good fighters. So whoever wins this, I think deserves a title shot, in my opinion.
I think for me, seeing Hamzat come back to the octagon, showing what he he can do, like it's another not a new face, but you know what I mean, like a newer face brings something different. His fighting style is different.
His talk, his
he
shit
talks
talking is different.
while he's punching you in the face.
Like he'll have you in a grip. I'll never forget that Kevin Holland game fight where he has him and he's talking to Dana like, "This is who you're serving me. Like I'll kill everybody that's down there." Like that's must-watch TV, people. So I think that's big. And then the final fight we have Max Tuporia and Max Holloway, or Ilya Tuporia, sorry, and Max Holloway. After watching what Max Holloway did, in my opinion, probably the best fight I've ever watched in my life live. So I think Tuporia has a tall task in front of him. Tuporia is very technical, very smart fighter from Spain. He's just, this is really going to prove if Tuporia is a real deal, or is Max going to get his title back?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Max is going to get that title back.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think we can bet against him.
I can't.
Tuporia is a real deal, but Max has proven it.
For
you
sure.
know? Max is, Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
He's not going out without a fight.
You think if it's coming to the last few seconds and Max is like, let's throw it right now, Ilya's coming?
Right in the center of the ring, let's go.
You think Ilya's going to do it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think we're going to see a good throwdown.
So who you got in these two big fights? Hamza or Robert Whittaker?
I think I'm going to go Hamza. I think he has more to prove.
Okay.
He's younger. Not that really that matters, because with Robert Whittaker, at least. I think Hamza he's going to be a little bit more hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Hamza on that, and I'm just not gonna bet against Max Holloway.
Yeah, I'll tell you on that Max Holloway. I like Max Holloway. Crazy fighter. He's just a dog, Hawaiian demon. He's gonna get it done. He's not scared to fight anybody. But I'm gonna go against you on the other one. I'm gonna take Robert Whittaker, the more experienced vet. He's had more fights this year. He's more fluid. Personally, I think Hamza is the better fighter, but not having a fight in the octagon for 2 years.
There's gonna be a little more rust?
There's going to be some rust coming off, and Whittaker is just going to, as a vet, take over that. Find those holes. Time for the NBA, ladies and gentlemen.
Our strong suit.
It's our strong suit. But to start it off, who do you think is going to be? We just won the championship. We're on the highest of highs right now. It doesn't get any higher than this. Anybody talk shit to you, you can just show them that shirt.
Show them the hoodie.
Banner 18's up there. But
Banner 19 loading.
But
we don't even have to ask the question.
Really?
Celtics all day.
What I was gonna ask, ladies and gentlemen, is who do we think is gonna be the champion of the year 2025? And he.
Yeah, I mean, you could say bias, you could say whatever. They are the most put together team. I will take our starting five against any starting five 100%. In the NBA. I will take our bench over at least 12 out of the 30 teams. 30 teams, right?
Yeah.
I'll take our bench over at least 12 out of the 30 teams in the league.
I think we got better over the offseason, bro. Like the Celtics, we got rid of Svi Mihailuk.
Svi and O'Shea.
O'Shea. Two players who didn't really see the court much. I mean, they were played in some end games where our stars were sitting and stuff.
I liked O'Shea.
I did like O'Shea. I liked his energy.
His energy, he never complained. Obviously, I mean, professionals... You don't really hear that as a fan.
For sure.
Unless, a trade happens, they want out, this, that. As a role player, you don't really hear much. I mean, we heard about Pritchard a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. He wasn't paid yet. Young cat.
Dog. We
didn't know what he was really capable of. Mm-hmm. We've seen it. He's proven. I liked O'Shea in the moments where the game wasn't our way. We needed a spark.
Yeah.
O'Shea could come in and just tip a pass, go for a lay, go for a dunk. I feel like he was in the right spot in the right time.
And now he's getting paid. He got paid.
He's not even on a roster.
No?
O'Shea's a free agent still.
I thought my boy got paid.
He was trying to get paid. No teams wanted him.
That's insane. But Patrick McCaw wasn't doing much, and he got paid. So
yeah.
That's weird.
To go back to the Celtics, like their bench, I like Baylor, kid we just drafted.
Yeah.
Shireman. We also drafted Anton. I forget his last name.
Lonnie Walker
on an E10.
Yep.
I think we just watched the Celtics play in Abu Dhabi for 2 games. Wasn't a surprise to me that we beat the Nuggets both games. Mm-hmm. Besides the point, but seeing those 2 guys, they're rookies. They were very rusty. Baylor's gonna get more of a shot. He was a first round pick, but that doesn't take away from Anton, who's gonna be hungrier. Yeah. Maybe feels a little bit overlooked. Mm-hmm. But I think that Lonnie Walker deal for the Celtics, it's not by any means a make or break.
No.
But if you can sign him to the season and have that option on the bench, and what we've seen as fans.
That's a super nice option to have. I mean, he's an ISO god. He could get a bucket. He doesn't need JB or JT to assist him, or he could get it himself. I mean, we've seen that early in his career in the Spurs.
We've seen that with Spurs, the Lakers, the
Brooklyn,
Nets.
and he kind of got them over that game against the Warriors. I don't know what a play-in. He kind of beat the Warriors in the play-in single-handedly. He got hot
and hit like 15 points.
Like, that's not a bad option to have as your third string point guard coming off the bench, or shooting guard, whatever he wants to play.
Right, and when you have nights, maybe JB's out. When you have nights, maybe Al Horford's not going to play a back-to-back.
Or if Pritchard's out.
Right.
He's that guy to step up.
The Celtics have that depth, and they only lost 2 bench pieces, and they replaced them.
Yep.
Better players, to be honest. They weren't irreplaceable bench players we had. Those are, you can get rid of bench players all the time.
1,000%.
But the bench is also, going back to the NFL, like the practice squad, the bench in the NBA is what makes a champion a champion.
100%.
They battle test them. We hear stories about Kobe Bryant in practice all the time, going back and like trash talking his teammates and saying, talking to the GM, saying this is the best you can do.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me worse.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, we got better. That's all we got to say. We got better over the offseason. If we stay healthy, I truly believe that we'll be the champions of the next year. And hopefully we could make some greatness happen.
And you have 2 superstars that got snubbed.
Yeah.
You had Tatum in the Olympics.
He had to sit.
Who was one of the only players on that team. There was first team All-NBA.
Yeah.
2 DNPs.
Yep.
Then you have Jaylen Brown, who
let me see.
Didn't even
we don't need you.
Looked at.
Yeah.
For the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Now he's even bigger.
And they know they
put the work in the offseason.
Yep.
2 hungry superstars
with a target on their back and something to prove.
You're gonna have KP, who's gonna be out until December, coming back fully healthy.
Yep.
You don't need KP until the playoffs.
We don't. And we got Tillman. Tillman's a very, very good option to have.
He's kind of like he's
like a baby Horford, yeah.
But a lot younger.
Kind of looks like him too.
20 years younger.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, we both picked the Celtics to win it. We can talk about the best teams in the league. Try not to be biased here. You can start off for your list. Maybe go top 5 teams in the league.
I won't do it. I'll just do who comes to the top of my head. The 2 teams that were involved in this big blockbuster trade recently, the Wolves and the Knicks. I know the Knicks are kind of our, they're behind us. They're ready for us. They want to take our heads off. They want to, be above us. But they got better with Karl Anthony Towns for sure. I mean, they gave up Dante DiVincenzo. They had that, friendship going on from Villanova and all that. But they needed that big. That was their missing piece. They needed a shooting center, a center that could do it all.
Yeah.
Kind of match up to what KP's doing.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I think they could give us some problems. I wouldn't say they'd beat us, but they could definitely give us some problems in the playoffs.
They can take us to 6
for sure. And then the Wolves, I mean, they got another scorer in Julius Randle. Dante DiVincenzo's a great point guard to have. I mean, I don't know if he's going to start or not, but regardless of his position, he could shoot it. He could shoot the lights out. Anthony Edwards. I mean, you're not going to stop him. He's really taking that young star role, and he's taking it well. Even though he said some controversial things about our boy JT, but we'll touch that a little bit. I like the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets, they won it the year prior. They got Russell Westbrook, a good vet to have off the bench. So
I think that was also a great pickup for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Get some maturity in there.
How do you feel about like Clay and Dallas? Like Dallas was kind of in the finals. Now they add on a shooter and Clay, which they struggled in the finals. Like
they definitely, Celtics, Dallas in that finals.
Yeah.
They couldn't hit the timely shots against us, and our defense was top tier, but they had every chance to maybe steal 2 games from us.
For sure.
They blew us out game 3. After we blew them out. We didn't blow them out. The first 2 games were close.
Yeah.
We were at the watch parties in Boston. We got to see it.
Amazing experience.
Be in that atmosphere.
Amazing.
Untouchable.
Experience.
Just being in that Boston atmosphere.
For sure.
I've been to a World Series game.
Yeah.
Been at Bruins games. Been to them all. Patriots games. That was top level atmosphere to be in as a sports fan.
For sure. It's insane because we knew what we were so close to getting. And Boston in itself is just the city of champions. Our pedigree is champion. So anytime we get close or we're there, and we're always in the talks every offseason. For whatever sport. Maybe not. Actually, take that back. Baseball the last couple of years, scratch it. Patriots, scratch it. NBA in itself, though. Ever since JB and JT's been taken over,
sure.
like we've been in the talk, and we kind of have never proved it. So knowing that we were on the brink of the finals, we weren't going up against a cheat code and Stephen Curry, and we actually genuinely had a chance. And it had a little more connection to it because we were going up against Kyrie, and you know what happened with Kyrie in Boston, in Brooklyn. So, we had a lot to prove, and that atmosphere is something I would never replace. Definitely like a once in a lifetime feeling, and I would do it all over again if I could, for sure.
Well, we're gonna be there again.
1,000%.
But yeah, so to go back to your point, like Clay to Dallas it's a great pickup for them.
Yeah.
He signed there, right? There was no trade.
No, he signed there.
Yeah, great pickup. Didn't have to give up any key pieces.
Mm-hmm.
For him, it's more about healthiness, staying healthy, and he's proven it in the big moments. Can he get back to that level of stardom? Because he was always, number 2 option behind Curry, but he was one of the greatest number 2 options. Maybe not all time. Nah, all time.
All time for sure. That big 3 was unstoppable. Like, whether it's KD or Draymond, you want to add to that third piece. Clay was that go-to. He had that generational game where he had like 40 points, 38 points,
dribbles.
no dribbles, like 12 dribbles in a game. Like, he's that guy, and he kind of has something to prove because on their way out of Golden State, they kind of weren't. He didn't feel like he was getting treated the way he should have been treated, for sure. So he's coming into a new team, fresh slate. I don't know how that feels. You get drafted to a team with multiple champions, and now you're
spend 10 plus years with them, right?
Yeah, and like that's a brotherhood they created, like Clay and Steph and Dre. So it's definitely going to be new, but I do think they will get better. Will they be in the finals again, though?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think with a healthy West, it's going to be a very hard path back. You could say the same about the Celtics, but staying in the West, like the argument for however many years has been the West is always stronger. Like,
for sure.
Like, you got John Morant coming back with the Grizzlies.
Marcus Smart. Let me get into this real quick. Sorry to cut you off. Who do you think is winning Rookie of the Year this year? Because I got I don't know if it's such a low-key pick, but his role on this team is kind of like, it's kind of giving it to him a little bit. Zach Edey. He's starting at center. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson. You got Zach Edey. He's not the fastest, but he is a dog in that paint.
He just can't shoot though.
He can't shoot, but he's gonna get fed. You know how big that guy is, bro. Like he's gonna get those touches.
But you think about it, like we think he's like huge. Pause. But
no Diddy. You know what I mean?
But we're comparing him to college players, and they're grown men too. But now you're going up against a Karl Anthony Towns. You're going up against a Kristaps Porzingis. You're going up against who are some other big name centers?
You got
Anthony
Vucevic.
You got Drummond.
Yeah, like
you're going up against big body athletes.
Yeah.
Who can also stretch the floor. Mm-hmm. Now he has to prove it to be able to defend the perimeter.
That's true. I wasn't thinking of it on the defensive end. That's a really good point to take. I was just thinking of like all those rebounds.
What are we talking about?
But that's what I'm trying to compare it to. Wemby came in. We thought his problem was, he's too skinny. Like he's not gonna get no buckets. He's gonna get dogged out by like even a smaller power forward like Draymond Green. Draymond said he's gonna have to prove it. Zach Edey might be twice his weight, if not a little less than that. And I think he's gonna fit in just fine. Like Wembanyama's game is completely different. He could create his own shot. He's much quicker.
He's like a 7'5" point guard.
It's insane. It's really cool to watch though. And he got CP3 now. But I think Zach Edey's gonna fit really nicely into this team, and he's just gonna do what he's got to do to win Rookie of the Year. Who do you think's gonna win it?
I don't really, I really don't know who came into the league. Rob Dillingham is a rookie, no?
Oh, he's nice. He's so nice.
I think he's a sleeper pick.
He's a sleeper pick. No bullshit. I was watching him in these preseason games, hooping.
I think Dillingham has a chance.
He does.
Let's move on to our sleepers. Maybe 2 sleeper picks, West East.
For the West, I'm gonna stick with I gotta go. I'm going to do Memphis Grizzlies. I'm a little biased. Marcus Smart, we love you, man. We miss you in Boston. We had to trade you for the better. But I think Memphis has a lot going on right now. Josh coming off an injury. Desmond Bane's a steady shooter. He can also play amazing defense. And then they're also getting that new rookie, Jaren Jackson. And they're going to do what they got to do. By the rookie, I meant Zach Edey. And in the East, I'm going to take Chicago. They're getting Josh Giddey. They lost DeMar, but they got Josh Giddey coming in. Willing passer.
They also lost Caruso.
They did lose Caruso. No bullshit.
But they do have a healthy Lonzo coming back.
Healthy Lonzo, but just like that Hosmer situation, I mean, he has a lot to prove. He hasn't played in a while with like some serious surgeries going on. So those are my two sleepers: West, Memphis, and then East Chicago. How about you?
So for West, I'm going Pelicans. Pelicans. I think they're nice. I think Zion's coming back.
Yep.
They got what's his name? Murray, DeJounte Murray.
Yep. Crazy defender.
Alvarado.
Yep.
Brandon Ingram.
GTA.
I think they're nice. They got something to prove.
That's a good pick.
And
CJ.
They made the offs this year. They did all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my sleeper pick for the West.
It's a good sleeper pick.
For the East.
The East isn't as strong as the West, I can tell you that. But the East does have some low-key sleeper picks.
I mean, the Bulls are a good pick, but...
I was trying to think of like teams that were on the brink of playoffs or didn't make playoffs that could really...
I'm trying to think back of like the standings last year, like how it fed out for the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the play-in games?
Wasn't Orlando in the play-in game?
Orlando was...
Cleveland?
Not Cleveland. They were in the play-in. Were they?
Couldn't tell you.
I think they played the winner of the play-in.
Yeah, they had that bye.
Orlando.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
Paolo's coming into his own. I mean, he's shown his rookie year that he's here to stay.
Rookie year. Last year wasn't his rookie year, no? No, that was his second year.
Second year, yeah.
Yeah,
Paolo. But he's here to stay.
Oh, for sure. He's
and
nasty.
they gained KCP. Good defender. Put him on the wing.
Maybe a little bit paid too much.
Yeah.
But we're not pocket watching here.
Yeah, I ain't pocket watching. My fault, sir. We're not going to pocket watch, but KCP's a good addition to that team. I feel like they needed some more shooting. I mean, they got a lot of young guards like Jalen Suggs. Yeah. He could crash. He could shoot too. So I think he's a good addition.
Wendell
Carter. Jonathan Isaac gained weight too. Yeah. He's coming off some injuries, but he's a great defender gaining weight. So I think they're a good sleeper in the East. That's a good pick, bro.
Yeah. So this is my strong suit. Might not be a little yours, but that's all right. We're moving on to the MLB Playoffs.
Feel me? I watched one game this playoffs, baby. So please hold it down for me. I don't know too much of it. But the one game I did watch was who was
Padres-Dodgers.
Padres-Dodgers.
Game 3.
Yeah, very energetic game. I mean, the Padres scored six home runs or 6 scores in an inning, which was very entertaining. I mean, Tatis Jr., haven't watched him. He came back, flooded them. Currently, there's a game right now as we're doing this podcast.
Go home.
Dodgers-Padres.
1-0.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but Murph's been putting me on, and what they've been doing recently with the playoffs has been very entertaining, especially that Padres-Dodgers game.
People complain about the length of games and it's boring, but like any sport, once playoffs come around, it's a whole different atmosphere.
Fans get into it, players get into it. It gets grimy.
So we had 2 teams in the playoffs this year that weren't supposed to make the playoffs.
Word? Who are those 2 teams, bro?
Tigers and Mets. So you got the Mets in the NLCS after beating the Phillies. Yeah. Thank God. Fuck Philly. They beat them 3-1. Okay. They took the division. Then you have the Tigers-Guardians. Tigers and Guardians tied 2-2. They play tomorrow at 1 for Game 5. Winner go home. Winner of that will play the Yankees in the ALCS. Yeah. Who just beat KC. Who, don't even get me started on Bobby Witt. That kid is disgusting. He's gonna win an MVP in the years to come.
He's like that?
He's like that, for sure.
All right.
I think he had a 30-30 season, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, that's half of what Shohei did.
Shit.
Shohei had almost 60-60 season.
Speaking of Shohei, the one game I did watch, why is Shohei's form so... I know he's very good. I know the numbers he's putting in is insane. And as, a non-baseball fan, he has, a weird stance.
He has a weird batting stance.
He's standing up a little bit.
He's up and he's tall.
Everybody kind of has it over their shoulder. They're winding it up, ready to hit it. He's just, robotic, really ready to hit it. And
yeah.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you, but...
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He's been running the league for a little bit.
A little bit. And he's going to be coming back this offseason. He's coming off of a Tommy John this offseason into next year. He's going to get back on the mound. So he's going to be that two-way threat that we've never really seen before of a hitter that's going to hit 30-plus home runs with 100-plus RBIs. Yeah. And then a Cy Young winner on the mound.
So is he an offense-defense? Is that what you're trying to say?
He's going to be a pitcher as well as a hitter at the same time.
So kind of what Travis Hunter's doing in the collegiate level.
Exactly. Switching. Okay. He does that. And so when he's not pitching, he's still hitting. So every 5th game, every 5th day, he's going to be pitching. Rest of those 4 days, he's gonna be hitting.
That's a big workload, my boy.
It's a big workload, but he's already proven it. He did it in Japan. Then he came over to the Angels, and he did it for them for whatever it was, 6 or 7 years. And now I'm biased. I hate LA. Of course, he went from the Angels to Dodgers. I think it's a little bit of a sellout move. He's chasing a chip at this point. You can't really blame a athlete for wanting that chip. That
I mean, that solidifies your legacy.
Solidifies it.
For sure.
I get that. I think, every 5th day, you're going to be able to see Shohei pitch. And then, which means like 5 days, pitch. 5 days, pitch. Then he's going to be able to jump back every other, like all the other games and be able to hit. So
that's impressive,
that
bro.
two-way threat is like that's must watch. But I just hate that he sold out and went to LA. I mean, he was in LA, but he went to the bigger market team. You can't like.
That's where the money is, to be honest. I mean, also like we thought he was coming to Boston. Like the New Balance, he signed with New Balance. Their headquarters is here in Boston. Like we thought he was coming here, but it's whatever. He made that decision, a personal decision for him and his family. But he is where he is now. What's going on with like MLB right now with the offs? I know like it's pretty getting intense. Some teams are getting eliminated. What's going on?
Yeah, so I know the Mets just beat the Phillies. Thank God. Fuck Philly.
Yep.
They beat them 3-1. So they're in the NLCS. And then we got Game 5 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
Tigers, Guardians. I touched on it a little bit earlier, like talking about the Tigers. Like, that is a young, like, inexperienced team. They're all learning together in the playoffs.
Those be the most dangerous teams.
And they're one of the teams that, like, so if they beat the Guardians, it's not like the Yankees are just playing some kind of scrub team that wasn't supposed to make the playoffs. They're playing a hot team that is all in sync. Like, he wasn't their best player, but he's their highest paid in Javi Baez.
Yeah.
He's not even on the roster for the playoffs right now. I don't know if it's because he's hurt.
Yeah.
But he's just not rostered. So I know that their whole roster combined was paid less than the Astros closer, which is crazy work.
That is insane. Would you say it's fair to say in any given sport, no matter how good your team is, who's getting paid the most dangerous team is the hottest team?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, no matter how experienced you are, we've seen it hand in hand in every sport. Whoever's hot is the most dangerous team.
Yeah, for sure.
So
the Tigers weren't supposed to make the offs.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the year.
Yeah.
To finish the last third of the year, they were the number 1 team in baseball.
That is insane.
We want to talk about teams that are young, like OKC.
Yeah.
However, like the average age was around 2021.
The Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Tigers. Maybe a little bit older.
It's insane. Half of the team can't even get into the bars.
But there's really no vets other than Baez who's not playing. I don't even know if he's in the dugout.
Yeah.
There's no vets that are playing to really show these young cats the ropes.
Yeah.
So they're all learning together. That's must-watch baseball tomorrow.
For sure.
Yankees, they're in the ALCS. They beat KC 3-1. And right now we got Padres Dodgers, so like we said earlier.
Yep. Game 5's happening as we speak.
So Mets beat Phillies 3-1.
Yep.
That's must-watch TV. Pete Alonso might be leaving the Mets in the offseason. Right now, him and Francisco Lindor. They're carrying the Mets for sure.
Sounds good. Well, baseball's getting to a close. I'm definitely going to have to tune in more, and I want to give you guys some more info on what's going on in baseball because my boy's carrying the load right now.
Yeah.
But baseball's really fun to watch, man. Like, any playoff atmosphere is fun to watch. I mean, like I said earlier, the players get into it. It gets a little chippy. The coaches get into it. They get chippy. The fans kind of get out of pocket sometimes, but it's must-watch TV, so we definitely want to get into that.
Yeah, I mean, I know just shortly, the NHL season just opened up. Bruins opened up their season in Florida.
Yep.
Just want to give a quick, condolences to the people that lost their lives in the hurricanes and stuff in Florida.
For sure.
All that stuff's, horrible right now. But so the Bruins opened up. Florida had their rig night. Whooped our ass. Is what it is.
They're coming off a
high. It showed our flaws. They came off their high. They got their rings. They saw the banner go up. Bruins come home last night. Played the Canadians, longtime rival, original 6.
Yep.
They beat them. They whooped their ass. So it was nice to see the Bruins bounce back.
Have a kickback game.
Swayman, who just got paid for the Bruins, their goalie, Nice to see everyone just kind of get back in the flow of things and bring the Garden some more life. Until they'll be holding the Garden down until the Celtics come back on for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch our Celtics. Can't wait to have some NBA going on too, so we can give you guys some more stuff to talk about. Is for sure.
Stats and scores for sure.
For sure, but we're gonna wrap this one up. This is officially episode number 1, done and finished. Long time coming. Like I said, me and Murph are here to stay. We're gonna have a lot more to talk to you guys about. Maybe have some special guests, have some young entrepreneurs, influencers here, and we're here to grow with you guys. We want to make this an intimate space for our young people to, really enjoy sports or want to get something started for themselves. And we're here to stay. We're really happy to get this started, and this is officially podcast episode 1.
All right, Brody.
Safe
Been real.
boy.